Hello guys, and welcome to episode 14 of my Total War Warhammer 2 playthrough, playing as the Von Carsteins on very hard difficulty. This is Mortal Empires and we're going for world domination, and today it starts with the destruction of Karak Kadrin. We took their capital previously, which should mean we no longer have to deal with any slayers. We'll find out when we hit their final settlements, but for the time being it looks like we're all good. Now, we did discover Khemri previously, which is a Tomb King nation. They actually like us, naturally like us, which is weird, very weird actually. Apparently we're not worthy though. That's fine.
Gobbler's angry.
We've got a non-aggression pact, so we can start to build up our relationship with them. And maybe one day we'll actually border them and we can trade. Who knows? Until then, it's time to move on to the next turn, I believe. So we have the intention of of moving on Vlad further north and taking the gold settlement off Kadrin. After we've done that, we will then
I do not bandy words with the weak. Leave me.
Sort of move back and attack the Empire. Kadrin are desperate for a peace treaty now. I'm a little bit worried that my army won't be able to take Nashrak's lair, because it is just skeleton spearmen and skeleton warriors and some zombies. I guess there's a lot of Felbats that are high rank as well, but without Isabella leading the army, they're kind of bad in comparison. Oh well, let's speed things up. Now, speaking of Khemri, I wonder what they're going to be like to fight in the late game. Because surely they're going to have a lot of the big constructs and stuff, and I'm not sure that we have much that can defeat those constructs. I'm trying to think what kind of anti-large units we have. Like, we do have Blood Knights. Other than that, it'll be mainly down to probably my leaders or even Varngolfs. Recruiting shortage is kind of lame, but it's fine. Time to move on. If we go raiding stance, can we get in there? I kind of feel like we should just get rid of these skeleton spearmen. Recruit myself a fresh unit or something. Maybe these crypt ghouls, and then carry on with those. Let's do that. Nashrak's lair is relatively undefended, so we should be able to start sieging that. As for Vlad, he is going to come right to the edge of the territory here. And we're going to get ready to attack Karak Ungor. I don't think they can recruit anything decent here. Doesn't look like it. Just have the gunsmiths forged, so we might end up against quite a lot of thunderers or something, but that is fine since we have a lot of Argeists. This damaged building can be fixed up now, which is good. And at Essen, since it's now relatively safe, we can build something here. But I am not going to just yet because we don't have the cash. I'm surprised they're not just assaulting Wurtbad. I guess they will in the next turn. Maybe it's because it's got walls and they're waiting for siege equipment. That's probably why. At least it slows them down, which is good.
More sleep shines.
Okay, time to end the turn again. On Banshee. Move through the desert a little. And Workbad's now under attack. I think we're just going to auto-resolve this. Thinking about it, because the dwarves are actually pretty weak right now, they might not confederate Karak Kadrin. If they do, we're definitely attacking the dwarves though. Speed up the rest of this. We'll get on with the sieges of these settlements. I don't think there was any walls at the settlement in the mountains here, so it won't matter about the attrition. Sorry, that's what I was thinking about. But where does the Empire go next? That's the main thing that I'm worried about. If they go straight for my home provinces, I'm kind of screwed because they might mess up my economy. If they just continue to attack all of the ones that were originally theirs in the first place, I don't really mind. Alright, Nashrak's lair is ours for the taking. It says it's relatively even, but I don't think so. We got the magic in our favour. Let's go ahead and fight this on the battle map. Now we're probably going to have to sit in this settlement for a little while, because it is not going to have the vampiric corruption it needs to sort out the public order, and because it's unpleasant climate we also get an extra -1 public order. But I guess the way we could get around that is if I recruit Isabella again as a separate army when she becomes available, I can move all the Felbats into her army and then move out of there. Actually, that may not be the best idea. I don't know. We'll work it out. The reason it wouldn't be a good idea is because it would increase our overall upkeep by having a 4th army. Because we technically have a 3rd in Altdorf at the moment, even though it's not really going to last too long once the siege is finished there. We will try and fight that battle, but at the moment we're just kind of chilling. Let's have all of my leaders and stuff out in front. We'll gamble for more wins, and we will start the deployment, start the battle. Cool. Time to charge on forwards. I think they're running over to this hill. It's something they normally do. Okay. We're going to control group these guys and we'll just have them attack forwards. That is fine. I've got all the fell bats I need to kill these quarrelers, so we're just going to start flying towards them. My leaders may take a little while to catch up since I didn't move them straight away. But one thing I can do is when the front line sort of gets together, we might be able to hit a nice purple Son of Zerus. Who knows? We're just in range here, so I think I'm going to try it. We're not going to get them much more clump than that. And they are running away from it. Come on, go this way. Go the other way. Other way. Other way. Other way. Okay, that kind of dodged all of their formations, so that kind of sucks. It's fine. And we'll just charge in here.
Noble of the night.
I'm going to Spirit Leech their leader.
Die, mortals, die!
We're well into their quarrelers, which is good.
Vampire law.
We get a little bit more.
I'm in your thrall.
We can do, I was going to say a double invocation, but because he has no levels, he can't.
This is the age of reckoning. The their souls out.
The von Carstein's march!
Come on, Velbats. Where are those Velbats going? They're just like getting into melee. Which is very strange. Have the dogs come over. The dire wolves. They can kill those quarrelers for us. And I can get these Vargeist back into the sky and use them elsewhere. For example, into this big old melee. Those swordsmen aren't lasting too well, let's implicate them. And one of these, I believe, is an overall nerf, which will affect all of them, so that will remove some of their armor and so on, allowing us to do a bit more damage with our units that are weak against armor. We have our leader beating on theirs, which is good. Okay, we've routed one of their units. How can I not attack them? Okay, they're dying now. That's good.
For Isabella!
Eye to face. I obey.
Time to have the direwolves kill off the other quarrelers. Tide is coming back. Lovely. Rush into these longbeards, please. Surprised how long this battle's lasting, actually. Imagine these wolves being as big as you, though. It's pretty scary for the old dwarves here. I think once these longbeards rout, so will the other ones.
Yes, blood.
Yeah, that's it. Surely. And we can end it there, since it's a settlement battle. Brilliant. If I could have done a double invocation at the end, I would have. But we'll just have to rely on settlement replenishment. We did lose a unit of skeleton warriors in that, but it's not too bad because we do, of course, have the ability to raise dead at the end of the day. And I think this will just be an occupation as well. I don't really want to affect the public order too much. Saying that, we can raise it entirely. But you can't sack and raise in the same turn. Since we already own one of the settlements in the province, I think it's a good idea to just take this one as well. And that way at least we can just get the public order sorted. I'm going to get the gibbet at Kadrin. And hopefully public order will sort itself out sooner than later. Don't think I need to get any more troops. What we are going to do, however, is get the restless dead. I'm going to also get the Aura of Supremacy on him, since he's leading a relatively weak leadership army. Can we get up there and attack next turn if we don't march? It might be worth just marching.
Very well.
Just so that we are in range and that we can definitely attack in the next turn.
Don't think so.
Okay. So the idea will be to push back down towards Kadrin, but saying that, I didn't realise that Kadrin owned Mount Gumbad and Grom Peak, which makes things a bit awkward. Because I obviously don't want to leave them alive, since they'll come back at me with Slayers. Maybe what will happen is when we take Karak Ungor, the gold from there will help us stabilise our economy and allow us to have an army that stays behind. I think a cool idea would to be like allow you to raise the settlements after taking them, or like sort of like a scorched earth tactic. So you sort of take it, you think, oh, maybe actually I don't want it, so I'm gonna just delete it so no one else can have it. I think that would be an interesting mechanic. For now though, that is everything. That's another settlement taken from Kadrin. It's just a shame that we found that they have 2 more settlements. Now, Mount Gumbad isn't the worst one to find that they control because it does have gold at the end of the day. That will be 2 gold settlements. But we need to deal with the Empire at some point. So yeah, we're still in an awkward spot. And Castle Tempelhof isn't the most defended. Like, it doesn't have decent garrison like Castle Drakenhof does. So if the Empire come along and try and attack Castle Tempelhof, then we're in trouble. Let's end the turn. It's kind of out of my control at the moment. At the end of the day, we're always going to head back that way and crush the Empire. It's just how long does it take to kill Kadrin? And honestly, I should have raised these settlements. They're going to go for the Moot by the looks of things. They might actually attack Schwarzhafen, which is my capital. Kadrin is apparently getting stronger, which is weird. They must be recruiting an army south, because the army they have north is not getting that much larger, as far as I can see. Didn't like the movement of that Empire army though, but thankfully they're in march stance, so they will take a lot of attrition. It's gonna be real painful wherever they attack at the end of the day. Oh nice, that's good. Occupy, loot, raise, sack 10 different settlements gives us 6k. Don't mind if I do. We've researched the Book of Archon, which now gives us Bond of Bones. And we've got the next objective issued. That's good because it gives us a little bit of cash to work with. I'm tempted to get a second Balefire Brazier here actually, just to help convert the vampiric corruption sooner than later.
Darkness comes.
But one thing we are going to do is attack Karak Ungor. Let's get on with that. Like I mentioned, they will have mostly Thunderers, although they did manage to recruit some Slayers. Maybe Kadrin can just naturally recruit Slayers. Anyway, let's go ahead and fight this on the battle map. No point in messing about. And after this we can move on to Kazid Urkalaz. And this is a settlement that I think I'm going to keep and just occupy. Then I can get it up in terms of the gold mining level. Right, that is fine. We have a lot of these Black Knights and Blood Knights. And I don't particularly want them to get shot at. I'll try and have them at the back if I can. Let's gamble for more wins. And we shall get a move on. Did they deploy any units here? They did. But they're out of range. That is fine. Over here we're just going to smash into the Quarrelers and the Thunderers. And we need to have these guys start attacking the gate. Okay, let's speed it up. There we go. What we like to see. Now you can start smashing them to pieces. Get the corpse cart under the gate as well, which will buff them up. Same with our leaders.
Vlad von Carstein.
I'm just going to invocate this skeleton warrior unit since it did take a lot of damage. Alright, so the Quarrelers and the Thunderers are dealt with. Now we'll move on to these Thunderers. Our Graveguard with great weapons are moving up. I will put another invocation onto them. They've taken a lot of damage actually. Probably just from the tower, I would assume. Oh, they're on a wall now though, but so we can't do it. That's annoying. Once this gate is open, we can probably charge through actually with our Black Knights. We've taken out the Thunderers, which is nice. And having done so, we can take off once again. And I'm actually going to send them over to these units over here on this wall. Some more Thunderers there. Those guys are going to get hit by my Graveguard with great weapons though.
This world is mine.
All of these lot, they need to push into these men. Whilst these lot can smash into the Quarrelers.
Vlad von Carstein.
And one good thing about Vlad is he can go up on walls all the time because he never has a mount. So if I need him to get up onto the walls, like in this situation where the Graveguard with great weapons are kind of being overwhelmed, we can do that. I'm just going to take down this gate first though. The Quarrelers here are being wrecked. I think the Longbeards are trying to help out, but not really able to. And some of my skeleton warriors here are likely to die. Not the end of the world. Eventually we're going to be replacing the Graveguard anyway, and we're currently building the infrastructure to do so. So if we lose some of these skeleton warriors as we take these settlements, it's not It's not the worst thing ever. Right, time to take off again. And then we'll come in for the charge strike onto the Thunderers. Get them covered in blood. Those Quarrelers just don't know what to do with themselves. The reason they're just sitting here, by the way, is because my Black Knights are on this side of the settlement. The gate's nearly down.
Yes.
Actually, losing these Graveguard with great weapons would be kind of bad.
Bring death.
Corpse cart.
Gonna leave my corpse cart here though.
Vlad von Carstein. On death wings.
Come in first with the vampires, and then we'll go up onto the walls and do damage that way.
I'm in your thrall.
Vlad von Carstein.
Let's get some skeleton warriors to come up and help us out. A fresh unit of skeleton warriors, because why not? Oh, we need to get these guys out of that engagement. I think we crushed the Thunderers. Yeah, we did, so that's fine. We can have these now come back and help out over here. I think we might smash into the Longbeards with great weapons. Because great weapons are great against armor, but considering most of my units don't have armor, it doesn't really matter.
Vlad von Carstein.
I just wish I could do that on a wall. I don't know why they can't on a wall.
Dare.
Seems a bit silly. But we'll get another unit of skeleton warriors to come up here and help us out. Vlad's going to be killing off these slayers one by one though, which is good.
Vampire.
I'm a little bit worried about this Graveguard with great weapons unit. I might just back them off. And we'll have them actually just come off the wall so I can actually invocate them. I don't care about any of the other infantry squads, but this one in particular I definitely do want to.
Very well. Master of the undead.
Go on Vlad, wipe them out.
Give them the gift.
One of our guys have taken a lot of damage in all of this actually. And while I'm waiting, I'm just going to bring all of my horsemen in. I think I could probably kill off these Thunderers, for example, and we can maybe engage some of the other units. Just invocate these again. And they can come up onto the walls while they're healing. They're trying to take on Vlad, but it's just not working out very well for them.
Life ends.
One Slayer left. Watch him get his head poked off again. Oh, yeah. He got obliterated by that strike. Which was rather amusing. Gonna have some of these skeleton warriors go down and attack these Thunderers. Right, we've almost crushed these units on the walls.
Blood frenzy.
Tempted to Melkos Mystify Masma, but let's do it anyway.
Blood magic.
We've got to use the magic somewhere.
Vlad von Carstein.
Okay, that is fine. Let's have Vlad now engage the Thane.
For Isabella!
Okay, one thing I am going to do is get all my units off the walls. Gonna get my corpse cart over here. The reason I'm doing this is so I can do a double invocation.
Carstein.
Should affect pretty much all of them.
Darkness reigns.
And then we can have all the melee units go up onto the walls and attack the Longbeards with the Vargas. And Vlad can take on the Thane in the meantime.
Vampire!
Blood Knights.
Well, as for our cavalry, well, I think I might get a couple to get involved, but otherwise we're almost done. Yeah, they're just going to chain route. That's it, that's victory. End the battle there. Lost 2 units of skeleton warriors. Not ideal because they are high rank, but like I mentioned, we are going to be replacing them with Graveguard as soon as I can. Will make my armies cost a lot more, but once we crush the Empire army that's running through our lands, we won't have to worry for much longer. There is the thought of chaos, though, that I need to keep an eye on. Because after all of this commotion with the dwarves, if we then go ahead and try and push back the Empire, we could be left in a predicament where the chaos is coming down from the north and completely catches us off guard. I was just going to occupy this. And that way I can not only build the tarnished gold shaft, which is something I'm going to do pretty much immediately, but I'm going to get rid of this, and we are going to get the thing that spreads corruption, the Balefire Brazier.
Will drown in blood.
Let's finish off Master Strike, get that weapon damage really high. And we're going to max out Penumbral Pendulum.
Cower before me.
Right, for now, I think I'm going to pick up a couple of these zombies. The reason I'm not going to get the Devils of Schwarzhafen in this army is because I believe I can buff them with Isabella. So, yeah, there's no real reason to have them in this army as opposed to Isabella's.
Bow.
So I might just get some zombies for now, although there's no point in raising dead this turn. I can raise dead next turn before I move to Khazad-dûr-Khazad.
I'm a rude lord, not some smith.
Oh dear. This better not be a full army of Slayers,
I have no time for this.
because they can recruit them in Khazad-dûr-Khazad.
My will alone. Darkness
This is awkward. Might just be in time for Isabella to be back online. Oh, would you look at that? Nordland left the siege of Altdorf.
more sleep shines.
Which means the wall actually upgraded. And therefore the garrison at Altdorf is pretty legit.
This better be
But I don't need this army anymore, so we're going to get rid of it. That will improve our income quite significantly. Allow me to recruit a new leader over here. And we can get on with that idea of like recruiting Isabella as a new lord and a new army that can then take these Felbats away, go back to Sylvania, recruit a decent army, and then carry on, whilst Meinrad kind of stays here. But actually, no, with Mount Gumbad, that kind of puts a spanner in the works. We're going to have to work it out in the next episode, guys, because unfortunately, it has been my time. We've made more progress against the dwarves, but the Empire is on our doorsteps. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.